Welcome guys to a merry Monday. Super late. I just want to make this quick video. Um you know, this year has been amazing if you were investing your money in anything. Uh it really has been kind of not difficult to make money if you were in the stock market, uh Pokemon collecting, or even being OnlyFans. I don't know. But aside from that, we have to talk about the end of a good thing. Now, this isn't a crash video. This isn't an incoming crash. It's more of a correction of all-time highs. I'm sorry, my voice is a little bit foggy. I'm a little sick. I haven't made a video recently. My last video, I think I was talking about hims or hers and the stock market. Yeah, I still believe that stock is gonna be very strong in the future, but right now the market is not strong enough to pull these stocks up. What I have noticed, now it's only Monday, but I have noticed since Friday these stocks really haven't been doing these crazy numbers that they've been doing recently. And if money bros are realizing this, they'll start to empty their pockets. Not empty their pockets, actually fill in their pockets from their gains. Because why am I gonna stay in the stock market, risk my capital that I won 100%, 200%, 300% gains that I've already made, and risk it? Now, crypto, Solana did amazing. It hit 200. I thought it was gonna hit 200. I just didn't want to risk it because for $20, let's say I put in $1,000, right? I could have made 200 bucks if I put $1,000 on Solana. Well, no, actually 2,000. Let's say 2,000. I put $2,000 on Solana. I would have made 20 bucks. 200 bucks. Sorry, 300 bucks if you really want to be realistic. I'll make 300 bucks. Yes, that's a very good play, but I'm very conservative right now with my gains, and especially because I have other investments, I'd rather play it safe. I don't know if you guys know, but I also like collecting Pokemon. I got these little cards that I'm gonna be setting to be graded. Yeah, it's for like a different video, but you guys saw a Bobo Mew. Hopefully, it gets a good grade. But yeah, it's kind of a very interesting time, especially because of everything political wise. Now, we understand that Trump is the superior president, and no other president has been like him. And he has put the big beautiful bill, which has put money into the 1% and cut the poors, which I'm not gonna get political, but what that creates is the rich putting more money into the stock market. People, because unfortunately the lower class does not have the income to put money into the stock market. I don't condone this, but this is what I do. I put some investments into my credit card or buy my daily stuff on credit cards. I'm not the 1%. I am not rich by any means. But I live with my parents. But it's something that I do for myself to try to improve on my credit history and make more money off of it, I put my daily expenses on my credit cards. And I also use my credit cards to buy Pokemon. Now, I'm not saying do this by random cards with your credit card. Not the best investment advice. But if you, let's say you have a card you opened up, and in a 24-month cycle, 12-month cycle, you have zero interest paying on it, right? And you have a credit limit of $4,000. Okay, I buy $4,000 worth of sealed booster boxes of Pokemon. 1 or 2 years, those 4,000 can gain 20, 30%, 50% even. And when I sell that, I get 30% plus I pay the credit cards back. But obviously, the market has not been too favorable in that aspect. What do I mean by that? Pokemon seems to have waited till the end of the era to put the best sets. I'm getting off talk. I'll say about the stock market. But this is just my opinion, guys. Don't. This is not financial advice. I'm just some random dude in Florida. Don't take this as financial advice. But if you take what's been going on, I talked about this in the other video. I said people are putting more money into these investment opportunities. That's not real estate, because real estate is way too expensive and nobody can afford them at this point. Into these investments like collectibles, stock market. Really, those are the only two things that's popular. And the way that social media is that, if you are not investing, you are an automatic loser. And I have something to say about that. You're not a loser just because you don't invest. If you have a job, if you are contributing to yourself, to your family, to loved ones, you are not a loser. Me buying a $60 sealed collection box to open it and rip, and I only get the promos as the only hits. Now I am a loser. But if you know what you're doing, you manage your risk, you don't overspend, you make sure to sell things once you feel like, okay, this has already gained enough profit for me, and I'm just going to invest this in something else, because for me, the best investments have been the Pokemon Center ETBs. Because in my opinion, why am I going to hold something for 5 years if it's already gained 200, 300%? And that's something that, a lot of people don't talk about in, investments and collectibles, especially collectibles, because sealed product is always going up. But guess what? What is the best way to profit? If I buy a PC ETB, prismatic, and I sell it for $250, I get back $220. Okay, I bought it for $60. I bought that ETB for $60. I already made profit. I already made double, I mean, not more than double. I made triple my profit. So why am I going to complain about doubling more? You know, these are just cardboard. Honestly, if you bought Evolving Skies at $200, now a lot of people did because they really did believe in this set, but you were right to believe in this set. But if you saw that these booster boxes, once they hit 800, $1,000, would you have believed that it would hit $2,000 in less than a year? I doubt it. You know, because that's just not normal. I'm not saying Evolving Skies is not worth $2,000. I do think it's a little bit overinflated. I think sooner or later we'll see better prices on that booster box. And I think there's better investment opportunities than Evolving Skies right now. Evolving Skies right now is kind of more of a display item than anything else. There's just too much product of Evolving Skies. I don't even think Ribbon Shippers will have the cojones to open a booster box live for their fans, right? What Ribbon Shipper in the right mind would open up a booster box for their fans when you lose money opening a booster box? Let's see what else to talk about. Oh, stock market. I keep forgetting about the stock market. But the thing is that the stock market is not that interesting. I just love Pokemon. Talking about Pokemon. It's just something that I just love talking about. Cause it only goes up, right? It only goes up. But when we talk about the stock market, we unfortunately have some days where it's very stagnant, or some periods it's very stagnant. I think that's what we're gonna have right now. We're gonna have very stagnant periods in the stock market. Now you may ask, am I still investing? Well, Timmy. Well, juniors. I'm gonna call you juniors. I don't want to say Timmy's. That's some other YouTuber says that. Well, juniors, if you really want to know what Caesar is doing, he is currently playing. Let's see here. He is currently playing on his Nintendo 3DS. I was playing Ocarina of Time like 2 weeks ago, because I saw, you know, I had the game, I never finished it, and I'm like, oh my god, that's awesome. And then I also saw the movie coming out, and I'm like, awesome. Oh, you guys are hearing that theme song? Guess what game it is? Guess what game it is? Oh, Omega Ruby. But yeah, I've been just playing. You know, I've been doing random stuff. You know, this channel, I'm not saying I don't want to be this financial guy. I want to, you know, have some other branches out. But hey, this is my team I built. Check it out. Gardevoir, Absol, Salamence. I have a little Beldum right there. My Milotic, Sceptile. You see this one? I called the Gardevoir Sora. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's kind of, I think it's reverse. I don't know. I called Gardevoir Sora, you know, from Kingdom Hearts. Absol. I called Absol Ala, like ally. And then Ala, like wing, because he grows wings, so it has Mega. Sally, Salamence. Reaper, Sceptile, Reaper. Milotic, Maria Elena. Beldum, Megatron. I also had an Aggron, called it Agrina like Amiga. Yeah. But yeah, I've just been playing, games because especially the Pokemon market. The Pokemon market, man, sucks, man. Everything sucks. I don't want to invest anymore. Uh, I want to just use my money to pay off my debt. My debt. It's because that just makes the most sense to me. Uh, I'd rather pay off my debt than be paying 20% on interest or whatever interest I have to pay. I think that's the best investment. Uh, I recently sold my cards to catch up collectibles through Fanatics. I made some good profits there. Check him out. It's consignment. He was doing a July 4th consignment. It was like 90% on July 4th. He had a promotion where if you sold things that were over $130, it buyer's premium included, it had 90%. You would get 90% back. Um, you know, it's a very good time to collect your gains. I think it's a very good time to just say, hey, I made this amount of money. Just be happy with it. And now obviously, if you have the money to sustain 20% losses and wait out the bear market, more power to you. But I think a lot of smart money is just gonna start taking off little by little, because that's what I've been seeing. The stock market is not going to crash. Believe me, the stock market is not going to crash like you saw in April. It's not gonna crash like in April. What's gonna happen is you're gonna see lower lows. What does that mean? You're gonna be seeing days where it drops 3-4%, and the next day 3%, 2% up. For like 2 days straight, you see 2% up, 2% up, 3% up, and then it's 5% down again, 6% down again, and it hits harder because guess what? It's cheaper. When something is cheaper and it hits 5% down, that makes it more effective. No, I'm sorry. If it's cheaper, it's less noticeable. What does that mean? So if this $10 bill, yes, the $10 bill from the last video, this $10 bill, if it loses 10%, 10% of this is $1, so it would be $9. What happens if it loses another 10% from its $9? This is $9 right now. $9 minus 10%, what is that? Like 75 cents, I guess. 80 cents, 90 cents. I think it's 90 cents. So 90 cents. You start losing less and less, but it's still the same amount of percentage. So what does that mean? So when people see the stock, when they see the SPY start to go down a lot, it just starts to go down a lot. In a week, it went down to 5%. We're like, all right, bear market, we're out of here. The reason I say this is, even if this video goes viral, it has nothing to do with the market. It has nothing to do with anything. It's just psychological. It's a psychological warfare in the stock market right now. You're gonna have tariffs starting in August. Trump has officially implemented that. So why am I going to think that the stock market is going to keep going to more all-time highs when the market panicked back in April, dropped like 30%, the SPY dropped like 30% from whispers, not even actual implementations of these tariffs. And people were freaking out. People were like, we're dumping this, that's it, we're gone. And the reason why the markets came back was because of retail. It was not even that. It wasn't even Wall Street. Retailers came in and bought the dip, bought the dip, bought the dip, bought the dip. You know, you see the dip, you gotta buy. That's the motto. You buy the dip, and that's going to hold a lot of traders back when you're gonna see these lower lows. The reason why you're gonna see these lower lows is because people are going to buy when they see those lows, and they're like, all right, it's gonna go up now. Dead cat bounce. Dead cat bounce. Do you expect the market to keep going to all-time highs? When we just hit an all-time high? Bitcoin's not even doing that great. Bitcoin it hit its all-time high, but is it gonna go to 130,000 again? Is it gonna go to 130,000? No. Now I said the same thing with Solana. When it was 190, 180, I'm like, all right. But that I felt more realistic of it hitting 200. But I was optimistic. I was like, it's not going to 200 bucks. Stupid Caesar. How could you not see Solana going to $200 when it's right there? I was 5 minutes away from buying five thought processes away from buying XRP at 3.5, but I realized the market is slowing down. The market is going to start slowly but surely be less confident. And this video has nothing to do with Pokemon, but I think if you made money for the stock market, look for MSRP things in Pokemon. It's hard to find it, yes, but if you really want to invest, into something, you just have money and you want to just put it somewhere so it gains more value. If you're like me, what I would do is buy sealed product. I'll probably rip it, to be honest with you. But yeah, I would buy sealed product for right now. I think the markets will pick back up after September, mid-September, start of October, when they announce, hey, fourth quarters are coming up, big money is back, because retail, Wall Street goes crazy in the fourth quarter. It's like the hot chick, from the balcony upstairs that only comes out on Fridays when it's your day off. You live for the day. I don't know, man. I'm just making random stuff up. But yeah, the fourth quarter is like the best time of the year. It's like Christmas. You just have to wait and see what the market has in store. Now, I could be totally wrong. Tomorrow the markets could hit all-time highs. But that's just how I'm feeling. I'm feeling right now people just don't see what's going on. They think the market's going to be strong. From what I saw, the only stocks that were up was Google, Amazon, and Apple. Those were the three stocks that were green for the whole entire day. And what's interesting is that the SPY did hit 631, but it ended at the same level it opened. So it did nothing for the whole day. That's weakness. That's weakness. You're telling me it hit all-time highs and it won't climb a little bit more? And once it hit all those all-time highs, the strongest stocks like Nvidia, AMD, these tech stocks, did it climb higher with that? No, no way. It has to be slowing down. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've been, just been happy with my gains. Starting to grade more cards. I think you guys saw the video of me showing you my 3 graded cards I got. The Rayquaza, Gengar, Giratina. I'm super happy about that. I'm definitely going to try to see if maybe they should have changed it about the Giratina, because who knows. It is a hard card to grade. No whitening, just a little bit off, not off center, a little bit off center, yeah. But who knows? I'll try again someday. But yeah, it's very difficult to be positive about what's going on, even if you're making money. Because even if you're making money, it won't last forever, right? You just feel like you should have taken advantage more. You should have told the junior downstairs, hey, this is going up 30% up more, so buy it for 10% over market, and trust me, man, trust me, I'm giving you that guarantee that it's gonna double in price in next month if you buy this for 10% over market. And that's currently what's going on right now. The funny thing is that the people who made money, made major money, are the ones who didn't overprice. The ones who said, okay, I'm gonna buy this for 130, give it a year or two, everything has gone up way more than it has already. Everything, stock market, Pokemon, collecting, anything, you just name it, it's gone up. Except for the housing market. But yeah, and owning a business, it's been a terrible year to own a business. I'm sorry if you own a business. Yeah, inflation is going to kick your ass, and I'm sorry. I hope everything turns out great. Hope you guys doing great. It's very tough times. A lot of people have been money if you are investing, but at the same time, it's very hard keeping up with inflation. But yeah, if I were a lot of people, if I were in a lot of people's shoes, I would start selling. I'm not saying it's gonna be the start of a bear market, except for the stock market. I think the stock market will have a little bit of a bearish cycle, but the Pokemon, I don't think we're gonna hit a bear market. I just think some items will stagnate, and some items are just gonna climb faster than we expect. Like celebrations is so underrated. Hidden Fates, underrated. Charizard UPC, underrated. Fusion Strike, underrated. Crown Zenith, underrated. Surging Sparks, we'll see it stagnate. Twilight Masquerade, we'll see it stagnate. But I think that one's kind of underrated too. If you don't get any reprints, I'm honestly thinking about selling my Twilight Masquerade. I'd rather put it to something else. I don't care if that boxer boss gets to $500 in the next year. I'd rather just invest into other things. But yeah, I think Future Strike is just underpriced, in my opinion. 151 underpriced, right? Come on, it's 151. Come on. White Flare, White Flare and Black Bolt, best sets. Like, I'd rather have a bunch of those PC ETBs than the prismatic ETBs. The prismatic PC ETBs, but there's only 2 cards I like from that set. I don't even like the Sunbreon. I'm like so whatever about it now. I like the Cerulege. Actually, 3 cards: the Roaring Moon, the Cerulege, and the Dragapult. Those 3 cards are my favorite. But yeah, guys, that's it. This video's been long enough. Hope you guys are safe. Hope you guys, have a positive week. Positive until I post the next video. Stay positive, and hope everything works out for you guys. Have a good rest of your day, man.